What is up, cupcakes? It's your boy Paperback Dan. I'm here to do my Wednesday Warrior video. Got some stuff that I'm pretty excited to talk about. Uh, it's been a hell of a day for me, so I'm glad that I was able to come home, read some comics, and just kind of unwind. So first things first, there's two books that I did not read, so I'm gonna touch on those first. The first one, in honor of the trailer that just dropped this week, I bought an issue of Moon Knight. I don't know if I've made a mistake or not. I've heard good things about the book and I do want to read it, but I don't know if I'll continue to keep buying it physically. I mostly just got it because the trailer came out. Plus, I thought the cover was kind of cool. Not quite cover of the week material, but I like it. And speaking of the Moon Knight trailer, I'm pretty excited about that. It's definitely my most anticipated Disney Plus show. It has been since they announced that they were even making one. I'm super pumped for it. And yeah, so yay for Moon Knight. Up next is a book that I show off every month, and you know that I haven't read it, but it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, except this time there's frogs on the cover. So I don't know what the hell is going on with this book right now, but I'm super curious. And I really need to get back on the wagon with that one. So those are the two books that I haven't read. And honestly, this cover is pretty cool too. This is issue 125. I didn't say that. But yeah, so those are the two books that I did not read. The rest of what I did read was overall pretty good compared to last week, where I said everything was kind of mediocre, give or take one or two books. Overall, this week was pretty solid all around. I kind of had a hard time picking my favorite book this week, believe it or not. And first book I want to talk about is Cloaked, #2 from Dark Horse. I'm really digging this book. The first issue was good. I think the second issue might actually be even better. I strongly recommend the series. If you didn't watch the last video, or if you're not familiar with the title, basically what this book is about is this Batman Punisher amalgamation type vigilante exists in this world, and 25 years ago he disappeared off the face of the earth. Essentially, no one knows what's happened to him, and this private investigator has been hired to basically like track him down, be like, hey, where the hell did this guy go? Like, you know, the reasoning this guy is being hired to do it is kind of silly. He just, the guy that did it's like, oh, I owe him one, like, as a favor. I don't know, it seems like a pretty like, it just feels out of the way, but whatever. But the book is really interesting. There's a lot of like mystery to it because you don't know what happens, and this private investigator is interviewing people that have like been in contact with him. Like in the first issue, he finds his boy sidekick, who's now an adult, and interviews him. And in this one, he interviews someone else, and it's more than just interviews in each issue. But I'm really curious where this book goes. There's a lot of intrigue, and they're setting up a really like interesting story. I think it's only 4 issues, so we're already halfway through. But I do strongly recommend it. So if your shop has both issues already, I would consider getting it. Up next, one of the bigger titles from this week is Venom #4 by Ram V. I am omitting Al Ewing's name because it appears that he's only writing stuff pertaining to Eddie Brock, whereas Ram V is taking over Dylan Brock duties. I kind of like that. I don't love that Ram V has been basically writing the last 3 issues after Al Ewing was built up to be on this book, and he hasn't been on it since the first issue. I'm sure he's still involved, but his name has only been on the first issue so far after it being like shown off as his series. I think that's weird. But ignoring that, I'm really liking Venom. It's definitely one of my more favorite books that I've been reading, especially from the big two. It's good stuff. You know, last issue left both Dylan and the symbiote in really precarious positions, and now things like pieces are starting to fall into place. Things are kind of becoming more interesting, I guess, because you're learning who all the players in this game is right now. So it's exciting. It's good stuff. This is a pretty solid issue overall. So if you're not reading Venom, could be worth a shot. I did not read Donny Cates' Venom, and I don't really feel lost. So if you also didn't read it, or if you're waiting for like an omnibus or something, but you're still curious about this series, I think it's worth picking up if you can still get all the singles, or if you want to read it digitally. I do recommend it. And up next, speaking of Donny Cates, we've got Hulk #3. And this series has been kind of crazy, to say the least. I feel like there's a lot going on, but also nothing going on. It's weird, but I really like it. I do think that this particular issue is a step above last month's. Two felt a little weird. The first one was I really enjoyed. Second issue was mostly good, but kind of strange. And this issue was good. I really want to know what's happening next. Otley's art on this book is awesome, as always. And I really am curious where Donny Cates is taking this, because he likes to hype up his books, and this is the first book that I've really like tried to stick to of his. So I'm curious if he can back up the things that he was hyping up about it, you know? And last but not least, and I gotta say that this is like a very Marvel heavy week. I don't have any DC books for the first time in possibly months, or quite a few weeks at least. And this one isn't a DC book either. My pick of the week and my cover of the week is Silver Surfer Rebirth #1. And it's written by Ron Mars. So he's like a classic, you know, 90s writer. And I really enjoyed this issue. And I think the thing that made me pick this book as my pick of the week over, say, a Venom or Hulk or even the Cloak book, because like I said, it was pretty close for all of them. The thing with Silver Surfer is it kind of came out of nowhere for me. I've never read a Silver Surfer book. I figured this could be a good chance to read something. And this issue left me wanting to read next month's issue the most compared to the other books. So, I mean, I think that, you know, it's kind of a dead giveaway for which books I like the most compared to the rest of them. But yeah, so I mean, I'll show you the cover again. I think it's pretty awesome. I like how Captain Marvel looks, and Silver Surfer always looks dope. So, I mean, you can't beat it. I want to say that this is a mini-series, but don't quote me on that. Next month I might have more information on it. But yeah, Silver Surfer's good stuff. The only thing that I thought was weird was how he talks, and I don't know if that's like the normal thing, because he gets introduced by the narrator, and then like 2 pages later, he's like introducing himself in the same fashion, and I thought that that was kind of weird. But other than that, I thought it was good. I really don't know what's going on, but it's like on purpose, and I think it's really cool. I think the cliffhanger slash hook that they have at the end is really interesting. I want to know where that goes. So I recommend it. You know, if you're on the fence about it, I think you should pull the trigger. And with that said, that's all the books that I had. Like I said, it was a light week, and I looked at the previews already. I think next week is going to be a little on the lighter side as well. But I don't mind the lighter weeks, for financial reasons and just time, reading each issue and stuff. But yeah, so this was a good week overall. I'd give everything a thumbs up. Absolutely. And I'm going to close this out. If you're not aware already, we are officially on Spotify. We've got a few episodes on there already. We have another one in the works that should hopefully come out this week. And, join the Facebook, follow us on Twitter. I am also on Twitter now. And I can put all that stuff in the description, all the handles and all that. But yeah, the Spotify, I'm super excited about it. I think a lot of the content that we offer functions really well as a podcast. So the potential of having both YouTube and a podcast, I think, is really good. So I'm excited about it. And just search us up, Cupcakes Comic Reviews, on Spotify. We should be the first one. There's a picture of a mug with our logo on it. That's the one you're looking for. So with that said, I'm closing this one out, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.